Can we trust our perception of the world? Are our senses always accurate? Descartes and Socrates would agree and argue that there is no way of really knowing for sure of the way how people perceive the world and whether it is 100% true. Not only are there philosophical arguments about whether our perceptions are true, but there is also scientific evidence about this phenomenon, similar to optical illusions. There's no way of truly knowing if one's perception of the world is actually the true nature of what is actually occurring. The philosopher Descartes is one philosopher who is known for questioning his own senses of reality. Although it is tempting to believe that our perceptions are telling the truth, this might not actually be the case. A lot of these ideas come from the sources of his meditations. In Descartes' meditations, he explains the evil deceiver hypothesis. This hypothesis basically states that there is a possibility that the world we see around us is all a giant illusion. There could be some sort of evil deceiver who is taking charge of our reality and causing us to believe that everything around us is real, even though it is all false. Although this hypothesis is unlikely, it is not impossible. A perfect example for this hypothesis is the movie The Matrix. In the movie, the main character Neo, along with the entire human race, lives in a virtual reality world that is not actually real. Neo's evil deceivers are the machines who take control of his perceptions for their own personal gain. It is interesting to think about how possible it is that the Matrix could actually become a reality, or maybe it already has and we just don't know it. Another one of Descartes' ideas that came from his own meditations is the cogito. The cogito explains that even if the world around us may be false, at least he can prove that he himself is real. He justifies this idea with the fact that if he is conscious and he can think, then he must be real. This idea comes along with the famous argument, in quotes, "I think, therefore I am." The philosopher Socrates also had a lot of ideas about perception, as well as going into a little bit more detail in his descriptions. Socrates believed that perception of the world was not the true form of the world, but just a trick. He believed that our souls were being lied to by our human senses. To Socrates, the body is of the imperfect, sensible world, while the soul is of the perfect, real world. Using evidence like optical illusions, he explained that he would never discover any truth using our senses, but the only way to find the real truth of the world is through the soul. Not only do the philosophers Descartes and Socrates make great philosophical arguments about the way we perceive the world around us, but the scientific arguments about human eyes perceiving optical illusions are very compelling. It's very interesting to think about how well human beings can really perceive the world. Even while doing the best we can, there is evidence that our senses will continue to lie to us. There's no way of knowing if we will ever be able to perceive everything in its true entirety.